Man, I mean, I was running on weeder products. You know, a lot of guys were loading up, which is not uncommon. I just
Doing coke?
Yeah, the only reason,
reason
I didn't. My dad was a doctor, and he just said,
"Don't do
from
it."
day one, man. He said, "You're gonna. This guy can see this happening in your business. I don't know anything about it, but you know, it happens not just to you guys, but because of the wear and tear and the travel.
Oh yeah,
it's almost a necessity.
Yeah,
but I avoided that. But oh man, I tell you, I've had 17 nervous breakdowns. No shit, I was just so exhausted. And one night I wrestled for an hour in Orlando in the old Eddie Graham Sports Arena, which is a tin building, 104 degrees, and I wrestled Butch Reed. And my heart was like racing like hell, so I called my dad on a payphone, and he was in Minneapolis. I said, "Dad, my heart's racing." He said, "When was the last time you went to bed?" And I said, "I don't know." I thought to myself, I didn't want to answer. I said, "Well, I went to bed last night." I said, "What time?" He said, I never went to bed, right? And then, so I had to go to Tokyo the next day. And I got in a plane going, God, I can't do this. So I drank all the way to Narita. Drank 14 hours. I maybe slept 2 hours, but I woke up, kept drinking, right? This isn't like 83 or 84. Landed in Narita. Back then we had the paper ticket. And I said, I just can't do this. And I could hear Baba's wife, Flair son, you know, da-da. I walked over to the guy. I said, when's the next flight back in the United States? I need to get to Charlotte. He said, we got one for Seattle leaving in 20 minutes. I said, that. And back then, they didn't have that deal with the bags. Took the paper ticket, put it back. I flew from Narita to Seattle, Seattle to Chicago, Chicago to Charlotte. And to make a long story short, I sat down next to this guy.
I sat down where?
Sat down next to this guy on the plane going back to Narita to Seattle. And I go, do you mind if I talk to you? He said, no, why? He said, I'm having a nervous breakdown. I need someone to talk to. And he said, really? I said, yep, I'm having a nervous breakdown. And so I talked all the way to Seattle, drank all the way to Seattle. And then I slept to Chicago. And I walked and got in a plane. I landed in Charlotte. And the promoter was there, Jimmy Crockett. He said, you got to go back. You're advertised. And we got back on the plane, never even left the airport. Went all the way back to Tokyo.
Oh, my God.
Drinking again. I mean, I was having a full-fledged nervous breakdown. And got there and went to the arena, wrestled an hour, and I broke the sweat and I just started over again. But the guy from Seattle, we changed addresses, right? And he sent me a Christmas card for 10 years. He said, I didn't know how famous you were. Really enjoyed talking to you, man. You're an interesting guy. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. I didn't know how famous you were when I met you. Really enjoyed talking to you. I hope you're feeling better.
Dude, that's a
full-fledged breakdown, man.
God, what did it feel like when you're having a nervous breakdown? What do you kind of go through? I had one a few years ago.
Oh, you lose control. I mean, you just like you're looking for someone to talk to. It's strange. It's hard to walk up to someone and say, hey, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown. Most people want to run away and go, call the cops. He's a wacko.
Yeah, call God.
No, I waited until the plane took off before I said it to him. I don't want him calling 911.
You're like, hey, remind me when we take off. I got something to tell you.
And nowadays, can you imagine walking up to a flight in it? Will you talk to me? I'm having a nervous breakdown. Okay.
Oh, they'll tase you.
They'll
call you racist and
can
tase
we land the plane, please?
Yeah.
They put you in the suit and take you off the plane. Oh, I've had about 5 of them. No kidding.
Yeah, it's heavy, huh?
You know what agoraphobia is? Where you have to be close to something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Agoraphobia.
Yeah. You can't be alone. You can't walk outside of your house.
Oh, you have that, you think?
I know I had it.
Wow.
Yeah, I had it for about 6 months. I couldn't get myself to leave and drive to the airport. Wow. I mean, it's horrible.
What do you think brought it on? And when you feel back in it, like what did?
Because I was just living a crazy lifestyle.
Do you think you felt bad about anything, or do you think it was just so much like drinking and partying?
No, just so much drinking and partying. I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
And the one thing I did do, which is kind of legendary in our business, is regardless of what I did to myself, I worked out every day. And sometimes I just pushed myself too hard. And that would cause that. And then, having different promoters try to, like when I cut my hair, I really lost my mind when I cut my hair.
Man.
Jim Hurd, Spartacus, put a earring on. I'm Ric Flair, motherfucker.
There's something,
when I cut my hair and I walked through the Charlotte airport, nobody knew who I was. I wanted to absolutely walk in the bathroom and kill myself. Hey, I'd normally walk down there, hey, Rick, combing my hair and all that. Now I got the Surfer Joe haircut. Just give me a break.
Native Americans, it was a big thing to them to have their hair.
Yeah.
They took each other's hair if they captured one another. They would scalp one another.
Well, I started a trend with it.
Yeah.
And then they have some promoter. I mean, I still can't believe I gave in to him.
Yeah. Man, it's funny because I've cut my hair before and it fucking hurt me.
Oh, I can remember the girl's name, Mary Riley. She said, are you sure you want to do this? I said, no, I don't want to do it, but I almost have to keep my job. But man, I was in shock. That alone was a nervous breakdown.
Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. 2 options. Watch one, this one or this one.